Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Reinharz, CEO and CTO of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions, trading on the OTC Pink on the ticker AITX. This week, a little bit different than prior weeks. There's a couple things that I want to share with you that I want you to know. So we're going to talk about those today. We're going to do a fun little interview, and we're going to talk a little bit about RAD. And we're going to do that in reverse order than what I just said. So starting with RAD, the first thing that I think you should all do and we should all do is have a moment of celebration, celebrating our Q2 results. Again, we're trending on this 3x growth year over year, and that is great. I do not foresee that changing throughout the course of the year, as I have said throughout the year. It's interesting that I am now able to be more definitive in forecasts than we ever have before. That is because once you get to a certain mass, certain things happen that allow you to be more accurate with that. So we're tracking conservatively at about 3x this year. It was 4x last year. We're working very, very hard to outperform. But in any case, what great results. Now, at the same time that we had great year-over-year growth for the quarter, our quarter-over-quarter growth was less than you might expect. It was less than we wanted for sure, and I want to share with you why. You know we have a relationship. We share the good, bad, and the ugly along the way. We worked really hard on the Generation 4 transition. And every time we thought we were fully tested and things were ready to go, we had something just stop us at the last minute and cause us to do a production halt. And it happened over and over and over. And it wasn't good. And because of that, I've made big changes in the company. And if you've seen me being less active and present on social and engaged, it's simply because I am so much deeper back into tech and leadership inside the different groups. And we've effected a lot of changes over the last few months because of the stuttered start that the Generation 4 caused us to do. This involves a little bit of reorganization. Nobody lost their jobs, but a little bit of reorganization, a lot of refocus, moving from geographic-based teams to product-based teams. You know, we're a global company with teams around the world. So these kind of small changes add up to big changes, and I love it. I love the team. I love being involved. So I've just been getting in there and making sure that we're on track for proper production support and that we're efficient in our research and development expenditure and use of time. So to summarize AITX right now with RAD, I would say the state of the union is positive across the board. Teams, product, customers, everything on track, looking great as reflected in the Q2 numbers that you just saw. I'm happy to share that RADCAM Android betas are in the mail. So people should be receiving their Androids next week. And that product is really coming along. And Android beta users, if you're watching this, there will be a big update sometime next week. So sometime the week of the 21st or whatever, which is going to kind of just button up a couple little things. And I have to decide how much of the roadmap we're going to share with you. I don't know. Okay, listen, that's RAD AITX looking great. And now time for something different. I'm going to answer 3 questions from a couple of interviewers. Someone named Brad and somebody named Bradley. I want to know what you think, okay? Obviously, we're using the word Brad because it has rad in it, and Bradley for the same reason. I want to see what this says. So we're going to try this out, and y'all let me know. I'm going to be reading the comments. I'm backed up on comments, by the way. I will be getting through YouTube comments over the next weekend. Okay.
Thanks for having us join you today, Steve. We're looking forward to better understanding everything about AITX and the RAD subsidiaries. Bradley, why don't you take the first question?
Hi, Steve. With quarterly gross profit growing by 301%, can you tell us more about the operational efficiencies you've implemented that have allowed the company to manage costs so effectively while at the same time scaling?
Thank you for the question. The answer is that it was always part of the plan. We always knew, well, we always expected, we always worked towards getting better efficiencies. And I'm going to share with you how. I'm going to answer the question, share with you how. But the number that you see in the gross profit right now, which I want to say is about 41%, that's off the top of my mind. I would need to fact check that. But that is still nowhere near what our target number for gross profit is. Okay, so that's the first part of the question. But how did we get there? We got there because when we built this company, we had to build it to a certain mass in order to support deployments and production. And it's kind of like, I don't know if this is the best analogy, Bradley, but it's kind of like if I wanted to raise a family, I would need some kind of home to raise the family with, a couple of bedrooms. And once you have that home and you have those bedrooms, then you can have, you can raise your family, and whether it's one child or four children or whatever it is, you have the home, you have the base to do it. Now you gotta put out a whole bunch of money to get into that home. Once you have it, you can build. So it's kind of a bit of a comparable analogy to what we did. So we built that base, we built that home, and now we can continue to expand. Now, why do I expect that number go up over time from the 41% of revenues that it is right now? I expect it to go up because we don't need to add another apartment to our house in order to triple or quadruple or quintuple output and deployment. So again, we've got the house, we're going to build more. As we put out more, our costs go down across the board. So think about it like this. If we get to $2 million in recurring monthly revenue, we'll do that, and depending on the time frame that we do that in, we might only increase SG&A by maybe 15%.
You're targeting $1 million in recurring monthly revenue by fiscal year end. How confident are you in hitting that goal, and what are some of the key drivers that will help you get there?
I would say that I'm moderately confident in hitting that goal by the end of the year because I don't control all the actions of our customers. We only control what we can do. So I know from our side, we're pumping out proposals, we're pushing people through the sales funnel, we're building and deploying, we're strengthening relationships across the board. So from our perspective, we see a path. And I wouldn't say that we could hit it if I didn't have some level of confidence that we're on the path to hit it. Of course, whether or not we hit it, only time can tell.
Steve, I'm seeing and hearing a lot about AITX's air technology. Can you help us understand exactly what air is?
Well, Bradley, air is everything. Us biological humans need to breathe air to exist. And we chose air because we believe that all of our devices similarly need their kind of air to exist and provide value and functionality to their customers. Air, of course, means autonomous intelligent response, and it's what's imbued, starting with the RadCam, and engages people in front of it either positively or nefariously or however it needs to based on the guidelines that we give it. So air is everything. Moving, stationary, intelligent robots are everything, and that's what we're building. That's the world that we're working to build. Thanks for the question, Bradley.
We'd like to thank you for your time today, Steve. Hopefully your viewers enjoyed this as much as we did. We hope to do this again soon.
All right, so I don't know what you thought about that exchange. I would like to know. So text me, DM me, email me, write your comments here. Now, that brings me to the third topic, which is something that I've wanted to share with the audience that I love. I truly do. You guys are amazing. I'm so happy you're watching and you've made it this far. I want to share more reflections on how I see AI changing everything, because I've been a voice advocating for people to accept change for many years now. And certainly you could argue that, we were ahead of our time with understanding these concepts that were coming down. And really until ChatGPT came down, People maybe didn't use it or didn't really see what that looked like, and my messaging didn't resonate. But I want to share a couple things that are on my mind with you. The first thing is that employment is going to change, okay? And by that, I mean that your job, and I don't know what your job is, okay? But your job will absolutely change over the next few years. And I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a bricklayer, a UPS driver. Your job will change. And is this a happy message? It's maybe not a happy message, but it's a message that you should know so that you could start to adapt and internalize these changes and be ahead of it and be on the winning side of change. Every change, every revolution has winners and losers, every single one. And I want you guys to be winners. We want to be part of that change. I want you to be part of that change positively. So please, if you're in denial that your job is going to change because of AI, please come out of denial. Okay. The next thing that I want to share is, after I said that first bit, you might be thinking, oh my God, every job is at risk now. Yes. What's going to happen? I don't really know, but I want to leave you with one thing, okay? Throughout the ages of human history that we know, through the prior three revolutions, industrial revolutions that caused massive upheaval that I see us moving into right now with the fourth industrial revolution, there has been one constant, and that constant is humans' creativity and work ethic. I say this because I have faith in humanity. And I'll share with you some examples. A few years ago, there were standard jobs and there were emerging jobs. Today, there are so many new jobs that didn't exist before. And that's what brings me back to my faith in humanity, because we are an industrious, hardworking, resilient, creative species. We will find ways to work and to provide value and to be fine. So ultimately, I think that there's going to be a lot of fear and concern and consternation and damage and winners and losers. But I think that in the end, we will be fine because humanity has always been fine. Everybody, a lot to think about, a lot to celebrate. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.